Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan, and today we'll be discussing Alabama. We're just talking about Alabama football. And I did this with Tennessee a while ago, and I liked how I did it. It was one of my favorite videos I've done. It didn't get a whole lot of views, but the people I talked to personally about it liked the concept of what I was doing. And this is not like what I usually do when it covers this stuff. Like I've done before 2 Alabama videos talking about their football predictions, like how their schedule is going to go, and who's going to start for quarterback. Since the quarterback video, we've had really nothing like stand out. Specifically, Saban has not given an answer yet on who's going to be quarterback and stuff. But I did do something in the Tennessee video that I like to do, and I'm going to do it again with this one, which is use a whiteboard. I'm going to cover plays that I personally see from Milroe specifically, and what I possibly see from Tyler Buchner. And I don't think Ty Simpson is going to start. I don't think he has a real chance to. So let me just cover a couple plays that are going to be things that I think they will use with Alabama's offense. First up is pretty simple. It's this play. I'll show it real quick. It's a run play, and it's right here. It's a read option. And what I think of this with this team is going to be usually Jace McClendon. You also have Justice Haynes. You also have Roydell Williams. You got 3 really good backs. I mentioned before that you got you got the best 3-way running back tandem in the country. And I don't think it's that close. I mean, talking about 3 running backs who can really start on any team else other than Bama, you don't usually get that. Even with Bama you do, but it's not been like that a couple years, and now it's back. But with this group, the reason I think it's going to be a very important play for them is because you have Jace McClendon and those guys, but you got also Milroe. So I'm going to use this situation. Milroe is going to be here. He's going to you're going to keep the handoff or fake it. What that means, if you don't know what a read option is, it means you can either hand the ball off or you can keep it yourself. Reason I say that's important for Milroe and this team to use is because they have super good speed. They have super good speed of quarterback with Jalen Milroe. Only one guy in college football I think that can catch up to Jalen Milroe on defense that's not a corner or safety is Harold Perkins. And the only reason I count out cornerbacks and safeties is because they're guarding the receivers, usually at the time. And what you can do with this, if you're Alabama, is run some RPOs and specifically just get some simple 10-15 yard plays. And one of the routes you're going to do, which you did use last year, I'm pretty sure you used with Jermaine Burton, I'm pretty sure that's the guy's name, and then you also used Ja'Cory Brooks, is just some simple flat routes. It's just a simple slant pattern, not that much right there. Simple slant route, and the only reason I have a go pattern is because any quarterback can throw a deep ball. That's straight on. If you can't, then I don't know why you're starting. I don't know why you're a quarterback from the start. But simple checkdowns, improving against A&M, checkdowns did work. Just sometimes I had inconsistencies. Jalen Milroe threw one deep ball, I remember, and it was picked off. But that was in double coverage that he shouldn't have thrown that. Usually, if you go one-on-one with these receivers, you're going to have to press up to these guys on the offense for Milroe. And because of that, you're going to have one-on-one opportunities deep with these other guys. Only problem with this method, with this team, is that you don't have Latu anymore. Latu got drafted. I know it seems like he's been there for like the past 8 years, I feel like, for tight end. But he's not there anymore. And so because of that, you're going to have to figure out with a new check down guy that will fill in for him. Because for Bryce Young, he was very good at that job, and just check downs and simple stuff like that. And this is some of the other things that I think they will be able to use that are simple plays for Milroe, because you're going to have a lot of plays. You're going to sometimes have to spread the field at times to give Milroe running room, but you also have just spread the field at times to make a pass. So one concept that I like is a combination of the other ones, which is kind of what Tennessee did a little bit. And I want them to do what they did with Tennessee a tad bit. And I covered this on Tennessee one, is this stuff. It's a mixture of a lot of things here. And I don't really know what to do with the other guy on the far right side, so I'm going to put him for a curl route on this thing. It's this route. Let me find it. Let me find good lighting. So here, for the bottom route, I don't know who this guy would probably be. Maybe Ja'Cory Brooks, possibly. But Ja'Cory Brooks is very good at speed, so I'd probably use your best slower guy. I'm not slower guy, but just best possession guy. Some talent. You did lose a receiver, mainly JoJo Earl is your main guy that you lost. Maybe Isaiah Bond for this part of the route I'll show. But you did lose JoJo Earl to TCU. But this is what I saw. I remember one time against what Bryce Young, quarterback against Tennessee. I saw it there, and I see Tennessee run it a lot, and it's very good. Is this route? It's pretty much a cross. You cross each other, and you have to make and I'll show if the defender is running man coverage or not. If it's zone, it might not work, but if it's man coverage, it's going to work, which means that you're going to have to go deep. My bad. You have to follow and go deep on that route over here while you have a guy doing a slant pattern. A lot of slants just for simple passes for Milroe, but deep balls with the cross routes should probably work too. Then you have the little flat route, of course. That's probably Ja'Cory Brooks' route because he showed off that against A&M. It took it to the house. And then again on the edge here, at the bottom here, simple core route. So if it's open if it's one-on-one on the left side, quarterback might slip. And yeah, but with this team, you're going to have a lot of stuff here. And this is probably going to go back to what was used in the Mark Ingram days, the Trent Richardson days, that I've not seen them run in, I don't even, since then. And I'm going to show it to you. And if you're a really like big Bama fan that's been watching them for the past 10, 15 years, you will remember this. Let me make it work. Just a Wildcat play. Just on the Wildcat. It's not anything creative specifically. Wildcat. Use with Mark Ingram. Just get the ball. Put 6 offensive line, or put one of the guys that tied it out there, and put the quarterback out to the edge, or kick him off the field even, and just run it up them. You got a pretty good offensive line. Your defense is solid enough. It's not great, but you can play, just run the ball, smash mouth football, like how you used to with Mark Ingram, the Trent Richardson, the Eddie Lacy's of the world. And yes, I do remember those days. I'm not that young. And with that will put 3 guys at running back who can really make this offense work no matter what. And the main guy that's using for this is probably, I would say, Justin Haynes, because that brother was phenomenal in the spring game. He's pretty sure the second best running back and second best player in the country when he came out, and number 1 running back in Texas. In Texas football, it's very serious in Texas. Texas is the closest state, I'd say, to how seriously they take football compared to the SEC when it comes to their stuff. And I think with that, you got another thing that comes up when it comes to how they play offensively. And you covered a little bit of deep balls, you covered this little flat routes and stuff. You got to get some screens in, though, I feel like. And simple plays, just, let me get this lined up. And it's just simple as this. Here the Jason McClendon probably in the backfield. Probably just go in a little out, just a little flat route pretty much for them. And let's just make it simple. Just make it simple. If it's Tyler Buckner, this offense is pretty much flipped to a passing offense because Buckner is not a runner. He is not as good as a runner. He's not as good as a runner as Milroe is. That's the only problem. But Buckner, and also he lost to Marshall as a starting quarterback. I can't trust that. I can't trust that guy. And you look at this, one thing they also ran a lot with Jahmyr Gibbs, which they are going to miss heavily, is just a simple kind of an inside zone type of plays. It's just inside zone. It's just get to the right side of the center usually. Just go in, not right up the middle, but kind of to the edge. Get a little bit more time for them to get their block set, get that set up. And I think with that, I think that'll be one of the things that we use a whole lot. Inside zones, wildcats, read options, RPOs, run pass options are going to be huge for them. The occasional deep ball that I covered there, and the curl routes and man coverage attacks, because against this team, you're going to have to press up, you're going to have to go at them, you have to crowd the box, and because of that, you're going to have a lot of opportunities deep with these teams, and these crossing routes, especially on the edge, will make a big difference in Bama's favor. Again, without JoJo Earl, That's a kind of a big loss. He went to TCU, but excuse me, was he supposed to be one of your speed guys? And now he's not there. That is a problem. I might cover defense at one point, but not this video because I want to cover the offense specifically. I might cover defense at one point, the same way I did this. And yeah, this is what I think of Bama's team right now. This is what I think they used some of this last year. I think some of this will work for them too, but you got to have some explosiveness with this team. Even with the older days with Bama, you had Julio Jones, you had Amari Cooper, you had those type of guys that can go deep, you can make big plays to your receivers, and they certainly did. So they gotta have one. They gotta have one of those. They gotta have one of those. The make big plays. I mean, our Darius Stewart too. He was one of them. That's not one of the most known names, but yes, I do know our Darius Stewart. So you got to have some of those on your team. But yeah, put down in the comments what you feel about this. Talk about Bama yourself. Again, if you want me to cover the defense, and if you actually like this format, let me know because I'll do more of it. And hope you all have a great day. Hit the like button if you like this video. Comment again, whatever you want. We cover college football every day, so hit the subscribe button, or try to do it every day. Again, school's coming around. Got to focus on that too. But yeah, I'll try my best with everything I can possibly do. Yeah, hope you all have a great day. Stay safe, y'all, and God bless y'all.